Yo guys, it's here. Welcome back to a brand new video. Welcome back to the channel. 6th place, Europa League. We're there. We're here. We're there. You know what I mean? We're everywhere. Well, not everywhere, but we're here. You know what I'm trying to say? Today, we're going to be talking about Brighton 1, Chelsea 2. Have that, you Seagull mugs. Come on. Honestly, there's a lot to get through in this review. And there's a lot of things I've got to say in this review. But I'm gassed that we've managed to get into Europa League. I said this from the jump. I didn't say this from the jump. I said this the last couple of months. I said it's Europa League or nothing. And I didn't think we'd get Europa League. I didn't think we'd get any sort of Europe. I thought we'd finish around 9th or 10th. But we're in the spot. We're in the driving seat now. We're in a good place. There's just one game to do it. And that's this Sunday coming. But before we do get into the review, please like, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you're notified every time I upload a video. Also, first link in the description of my streaming channel. Go and check that out. It'd be very much appreciated. And let's jump straight into it because we get it done. We get it done. And I predicted how this game would go. I said it was going to be a scrappy game. I said there's going to be loads of tackles flying in everywhere. I knew it would be scrappy. I predicted the game to the T, and if you didn't see my preview already, go and check out my preview. It's obviously the last video I uploaded. Sorry, I just kicked my bloody desk. But we managed the game, in my opinion, brilliantly. I thought fair play to Pochettino. I thought he managed the game perfectly. Even when it was getting a bit too rough in the second half, we managed it perfectly. We changed the game up with some subs in a good and a bad way. We're going to get into it in a minute. But before we go in depth with the first half, second half, whatever, let's go through the lineup because we've got to talk about the lineup. Petrovic in goal, Cucurella left back. We didn't go with Thiago Silva. I was surprised about that. We went Badiashile and Trevor Chalobah, 2 centre backs with Gusto as a right back. As your right back, obviously he's our right back. And then we went with Gallagher, Caicedo, obviously, and then the usual front three of Mudryk off the left, Palmer in the cam, and Madueke off the right, Jackson as the ST, the usual. I didn't think Madueke deserved the start of the last performance, the way he performed today as well, especially. I didn't think he deserved the start, but first half kicks off. In the first 5 minutes, we looked electric. We looked on it. We looked like we knew what we was doing in the first 5 minutes. Let me stress that, because after that, it was kind of 50-50 up until the first goal. And let's go on to the first VAR thing. We've got a lot of VAR things to talk about. Let's go to the first one before we move on to the goal. The penalty. It wasn't a penalty. I'll be honest with you. Not a penalty at all. The Brighton player won the ball well. Fair enough. Wasn't a penalty. At first glance, it looks like a penalty, but then you see he wins the ball and you're there like, okay, fine. But it's not a drop ball. It's not a drop ball to Brighton's flipping corner. They just didn't want to give us the corner. It was an obvious corner. Look, it was not a penalty, but it was an obvious corner. Come on. Everybody could see that. Somehow the ref didn't. I don't know. But we'll let slide. We scored the first goal. It was from a Cucurella cross. It was a low cross from Cucurella. A good cross from Cucurella, but it was very, very low. Palmer has to get underneath the header. He swerves in the top right-hand corner. Wow, it was perfect. I love goals like that. They're not really screamed about that often, those type of goals. But I scream about them because I love those type of goals. Brilliant from Palmer. Adds to his tally, I think, 22 goals in the Premier League this season with 10 assists in just the Premier League. He's phenomenal. And we go 1-0 up. Like I said, we was managing the game perfectly. Brighton wasn't really threatening us in that first half. They weren't really threatening us in that first half. There was another call from VAR that I forgot. But if I remember it, I'll bring it up in later on in the video, if you know what I'm trying to say. But, like, we were fine in that first half. We weren't panicking. There was no, like, intense errors or anything like that. Nothing serious, you know what I mean? Nothing serious. And we weren't great. And you could see that. But, I mean, Brian just didn't want to... It seemed like they really just didn't want to put it on us. I don't know what it was. They were putting tackles on us, don't get me wrong. They were putting tackles on us. But it seemed like they didn't want to put it on us. Now, I've just remembered the VAR thing. Mudryk. Because obviously Nkunku comes on in the last 5 minutes of the game. No, last 5 minutes of the first half, because obviously it's 40th minute that Mudryk goes down. And you look back on it, Tariq Lamptey puts his shoulder or his elbow, one of the two, I don't know what it was, but you can see it glancingly. He puts it into Mudryk, and Mudryk is concussed. He's concussed. Do you know what I'm saying? He's concussed. He's gone down the tunnel and he's not been able to carry on the game because he's concussed. Yeah? So Nkunku has to come on. Tariq Lamptey does something to him. Not a yellow card, not a warning. You know what it was? It was just like a pat on the back, like, oh, it's all right, Tariq Lamptey, it's all right. We're going to give you a drop ball instead. Nah, not Chelsea. You know, not Chelsea's, you know, free kick or anything. No, we're going to give you a drop ball. You're taking the piss. You're taking the piss. I don't care. The commentators are going, oh, it's not intentional. It's not intentional. Intentional or not, that's a foul. That's a foul. Intentional or not, soft or hard, that's a foul. You're taking the piss. Come on. You know what I'm trying to say? It was disgusting. The referee was oh crap, sorry about that, guys. I apologise, my light is still off. I apologise. My light is still off. But, you know, say what you want. That's a foul. But yeah, we move on from that situation. We move on to the second half. The first 20 minutes of the second half were shocking. Shocking. Not like it, actually no, shocking might be the wrong word. Just seemed like we came out lacklustre, loss of pace, adrenaline rush. I don't know, but it seems like we were second to the ball all the time in that first half of the second half. We were second to the ball all the time. Seems like we didn't want to put it on Brighton and rush in for challenges or anything like that. They were putting the pressure on us, but not in like a way where it looked like they was going to score. Do you know what I mean? At one point, if they carried on the pressure for the whole of the second half, then we probably would have conceded more than we did. But they luckily took the foot off the boil, and we ended up getting the second goal, which was brilliant. Gusto down the right-hand side cuts it in, and then Nkunku drives through the middle with a brilliant run. You watch his run back on that goal. Perfect run from Nkunku. Right in the middle, unmarked, slots it in. Brilliant goal. And that's where you want your number 10 drifting in and out there, in around those positions. Brilliant. That's what a world-class player does. World-class movement, that is. We've missed a player like him of his quality. And he gets his third goal, I think it is, in the Premier League this season. Obviously, he's had an injury-riddled season, so you can't really blame him. He's only had like 9 games, and I think all of them, bar one, have come off the bench. So you can't really blame him in that sense. But he came up with the balloon celebration. The balloon celebration that he usually did at RB Leipzig. He did it today with a blue balloon. Brilliant. I love to see it. I can't wait to see it at the bridge. I really can't. But we're 2-0 up. At that moment in time, I thought, cruising. It's the end of the game now. I was saying when we was under all that pressure from Brighton in the first 20 minutes, I was there like, we need a second goal to cover us, because if they get a goal under all this pressure, they're going to get all the adrenaline, they're going to get all the hype, the crowd's going to be behind them, and it's not going to go well. And we managed to get that second goal, luckily. Let me quickly touch on this. Reece James comes off the bench because Gusto picks up an injury, hoping it's not bad. Reece James comes off the bench. This is what I've got bird to pick. Reece James obviously gets a red card, and deservedly so. I've got to come on here and say deservedly so. He kicks out. Stupid from Reece James. Silly. Why do that? I don't know. You're the Chelsea captain. You should know better. But. This might just be me with my young mind. But he kicks out at the player that Reece James kicks out at was hacking him for about 10 seconds. Hacked him on one challenge, and then about 5 seconds later tried to hack him down again. And not even like to go for the ball. It looks like he was trying to go for his legs. I think he got annoyed. I think Reece James got annoyed and kicked out, which is not justifiable. He should not have kicked out. Silly from Reece James, like I said, and deservedly red card. Deserved red card. Silly from Reece James. And immediately it puts us under pressure because we're down to 10 men with the last 15 minutes to go as well. Reece James has only came off the bench for like 5 minutes or something like that. That's him out for the season now as well, by the way. Red card's out for the season. Won't see him until next season now. Which is kind of blessing in disguise, because I didn't want Reece James playing in these type of games anyway. I wanted him saved for next season. So, yeah. But, you know, we're put up against the ropes for the last 15 minutes. 10 men. We bring on some subs and sat back, parked the bus, tried to keep the lead. And that's when Danny Welbeck scores in like the 95th minute, and that's where I started to gulp. You know what I'm trying to say? I started to think, oh God, we're going to lose this up. We're going to draw this somehow, aren't we? And yeah, Danny Welbeck scores. I called it yesterday. I said we'd win 2-1. I got that correct. And I said Danny Welbeck would score for Brighton. He always scores against Chelsea. And I said it. I knew it would come true. But we managed to hang on brilliantly. Those last 15 minutes of extra time, whatever it was bloody chaotic. It was all Brighton. And it looked like they was going to score. Don't know. Reece James nearly put us in the mud there, I'll be honest with you. But you know, we get through it. We get into 6th place because Man United ended up beating bloody Newcastle 3-2. I was surprised about that. I thought Newcastle was going to win that. We now go 3 points ahead of Newcastle, who are in 7th, and 3 points ahead of United, who are also in 8th. And we're in the Europa League seat now. We're on 60 points. We're in the Europa League seat. We're in the driving seat. We're only 3 points off 5th, who is Tottenham. But Tottenham, their only game to play is on Sunday, and that's against Sheffield United. And let's be real here, I don't think Sheffield United are going to get a result. But it's the Premier League, anything can happen. Sheffield United, do us a favour so we can get 5th. Imagine if we get 5th in this type of season. Bloody hell. I'll take it, man. But it's looking unlikely. But we're now in the driving seat. We cannot lose. We can't lose on Sunday to Bournemouth. We cannot lose on Sunday to Bournemouth. No shot. If we do, we've fluffed everything. We're at home against Bournemouth on Sunday. We've got to win. We've got to win. This is a big win today. We've got to win. So, yeah, I mean, I think United and City are playing in the FA Cup final. If United somehow win the FA Cup final, they get Europa League, and I think we won't. Because obviously we're in 6th. So 6th doesn't count for Europa League. It's the other team who wins it. If City win it, obviously we do get Europa League because they're in the Champions League spot. It's all coming down to it, man. I'm confident we're going to get Europa League. I really am. Like I said, it all relies on Sunday, realistically, because I do think City will win the FA Cup anyway. So let's go through the player ratings anyway. Petrovic in goal. Didn't really have much to do, but when he did it alright. So I'll give him a 5.5. Cucurella was a rat today, an absolute rat. And for me, I can sit here and say he was a good rat. For Brighton fans, they were hating him. They were booing him. I think he was a 6.5 today. I think he was brilliant. Honestly, I don't think there was a fault for Cucurella at all today. Badiashile was quiet but decent. I'll give him a 5.5. Trevor Chalobah was amazing. The few times he did make a mistake today, he ended up rectifying for it and making a brilliant challenge. I'd say a 6.5 to Trevor Chalobah. I think it's brilliant. We cannot sell this guy. Please, we can't. Gusto got an assist. Good assist. Good link up with Nkunku, like I said, to find Nkunku in the middle there. But I don't think he had a great game. So I'll give him a 5.5. I don't think he had a great game. Gallagher, I thought was very, very quiet. Very quiet, wasn't really on it like he usually would be, so I'm going to give him a 4.8. 5, because I'm feeling generous, because I'm feeling nice, but it would be a 4.5 if it wasn't for the win today. Caicedo was brilliant as well. Again, Brighton fans booing him. Come on, man, he wanted to join his dream club. He wanted to join his club that he loves and follow in his idol's footsteps of Kante. Come on, you can't boo him for that. Of course he's going to join a bigger club. It was brilliant today, everywhere, getting stuck in, loved it. Hasn't really dropped, like I said recently, hasn't dropped a stinker. Caicedo, I'd say was a 7. I think it was a monster in that midfield today. Mudryk off the left, I think Mudryk looked positive at the short time he was on the pitch. He actually looked like he was going to have a positive game. So unfortunately he had to come off with a concussion. I'm hoping he's okay. I won't say prayers, but obviously I hope he's okay and everything like that. Hopefully he could come back stronger. So with Mudryk at the time he was on the pitch, I'll give him a 5.5 because it was little, but it was positive. Palmer in the 10. Like I said, got a brilliant headed goal. When he did get on the ball, it looked like he was going to create something. Palmer just does what Palmer does at the moment. He's having a phenomenal season. Palmer, I'd say, was a 6.5. Madueke, not a great game today either. Didn't really get on the ball much. That's 2 back-to-back games where he's done nothing really. I'll give him a 4.5, I'll be honest. I'll be completely honest. 4.7 actually, because I'm feeling generous. And then Jackson up top. I felt bad for him because he did score a goal today, but apparently it was a shove. I think it was a shove, but it was again, like, it's nothing in the shove. It was very little contact, but I can understand it. It's the way football's gone now. But Jackson, it was a 6. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad today. Substitutes coming off the bench in Kunku, and Kunku looked very, very, very good when he came off the bench. You could tell he's still getting used to the Premier League, obviously, because he's had so many injuries. He hasn't had a string of games to get used to the Premier League, so he's still getting used to it. Obviously, only just come back from injury as well, and he looked really, really good. If this is Nkunku trying to get used to the Premier League and only just come back from an injury, then I'm sorry, rival fans, Premier League, get ready for next season, because this guy's going to tear the Premier League apart. I thought it was a 6 point. I wouldn't say a 7 because I don't think he was as good as Caicedo. I'd say it was a 6.8. A 6.8 because I don't think he was as good as Caicedo. But I thought he was really, really good. Drifting in channels. They were hacking him as well. They were going after his legs all the time. It was ridiculous. Ogachukwu and Caicedo came on in the extra time part, which made me shit myself even more. But they didn't really have much time to really impact the game or anything like that, so I can't really say much on them. So I'm not going to give him a rating. Reece James, same. I'm not going to give him a rating, even though he got a red card, which is stupid. Because he wasn't on the pitch for long enough. He just wasn't on the pitch for long enough. So I'm not going to give him a rating either. But what I will say on that behalf is, Reece James, that was absolutely stupid what he did. He should know better. And thinking about other players, I can't think about anybody else that came off the bench from what my memory is thinking of. So yeah, if you drill into the game, I don't think we played. It's hard to really say because there was patterns of play today. There was patterns of play, and you could see there was things we clearly have been working on the training ground on that were in the game today. But it's weird though, because I don't think there was a system either way. I think it was individuals still in a way. I don't know. I think it's a bit harsh. I don't know. I do think there was a lot that we worked on the training ground that we saw implemented in today. So in that behalf, I'll give Poch that credit. But I don't think there was a valid system like there was against West Ham. But in general, I don't think there was a system. I don't know. It's confusing. Today's confusing. It's a mix of both, really. So, but all round, I'll give Pochettino his credit. I'll give Pochettino his credit for the game today, even though I didn't think there was much of a system there today. And it was, I don't know, I've got my words are mixed out now. I do think there was things we worked on in the training ground today that were implemented today, and you could see that. But there wasn't a system, but all round positive. Even to do with the manager, I'll say all round positive. And it's a positive day because now we're in the driving seat for Europa League. We cannot bottle this. We can't. So let's get ready now for the final Premier League game of the 2023-24 season on Sunday. Let's get ready for it. Chicken dinner day as well, that is. That's roast dinner day. So I'm looking forward to it. We cannot bottle this. So yeah. Let me know in the comments down below what you all thought about the game. I'm bloody ecstatic because we're in the driving seat now. We're going to get a good Europe spot. We're going to get good European football. Not as good as Champions League, but it's good for this set of players. Let's hope, fingers crossed, we can hang on to it. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below. Take care all, like, subscribe. Thank you all for the support recently. It's been unbelievable. I really, really appreciate it. Love you all. And yeah, take care all. Get in. We shot down the Seagulls out the sky. Take care. The chows.